Hello friends, welcome to the new lecture on soil plant water relationship. In this particular lecture, we are going to study different terminologies associated with soil plant water relationship. What is meant by root zone? What are the different types of availability of water? So let us start. Soil plant water relationship relates to the properties of soil and plants that affect the movement, retention and use of water. Soil provides the room for water to be used by plants through the roots present in the same medium. The rate of entry of water into the soil and its retention, movement and availability to plant roots are all physical phenomena. There are three types of soil water. One is gravitational water, second is capillary water and third is hygroscopic water. This is the lowermost portion, which is an oven dried soil, which shows the hygroscopic water. Here there is unavailability of water. In the zone where the water it is available, there is a capillary water, and in superfluous water it is called gravitational water. So let us understand these terms one by one. What is meant by gravitational water, capillary water and hygroscopic water. Gravitational water is available after gravity drainage. Gravitational water is that part in excess of hygroscopic and capillary water which will move out of the soil if favorable drainage is provided. So it is in excess of hygroscopic and capillary water and which is easily available if favorable drainage is provided to the soil. Now what is capillary water? Capillary water is that part in excess of hygroscopic water which exists in the pore space of the soil by molecular attraction, available due to capillary action. And lastly, hygroscopic water, when an oven dried sample is kept open in the atmosphere, it absorbs some amount of water from the atmosphere. This is known as hygroscopic water and is not capable of movement by the action of gravity or capillary forces, available due to chemical bonding adheres to soil particles. Now the subclasses of waters in the soil. One is available moisture. The difference in the water content of the soil between field capacity and permanent wilting point is known as available water. We will understand these terms, field capacity and wilting point, in later part of this presentation. Second is readily available moisture. It is that portion of the available moisture that is most easily extracted by plants and is approximately 75% of the available moisture. Unavailable water, the water which is not available for the plants after permanent wilting point is reached. It is also called as hygroscopic water. Saturation capacity, when all the pores of the soil are filled with water, the soil is said to be under saturation capacity or maximum water holding capacity. The tension of water at saturation capacity is almost zero and it is equal to free water surface. Now what is field capacity? The field capacity of soil is the moisture content after the drainage of gravitational water has become very slow and the moisture content has become relatively stable. This situation usually exists for 1 to 3 days after the soil has been thoroughly wetted by rain or irrigation. At field capacity, the large soil pores are filled with air, the micropores are filled with water, and any further drainage is slow. The field capacity is the upper limit of available moisture range in the soil moisture and plant relations. The field capacity water is expressed as the ratio of weight of water contained in the soil to the weight of dry soil retaining the water, expressed in percentage. So this is one of the important term in view of this particular irrigation engineering. Next is the permanent wilting point. Permanent wilting point or the wilting coefficient is that water content at which plants can no longer extract sufficient water from the soil for its growth. It is at the lower end of the available moisture range. If the plant does not get sufficient water to meet its needs, it will wilt permanently. A plant is considered to be permanently wilted when it will not recover after being placed in a saturated atmosphere. In order to estimate the depth of water stored in root zone, let us go through the derivation. In order to estimate the depth of water stored in the root zone of soil containing water up to field capacity, let small d is equal to depth of root zone in meters, f suffix c is equal to field capacity expressed as a ratio, gamma is equal to dry unit weight of soil, and gamma suffix w is equal to unit weight of water. Considering unit area 1 square meter of soil area, FC, that is a field capacity, is equal to, as per the definition, field capacity is equal to weight of water retained in a certain volume of soil divided by weight of the same volume of dry soil. Therefore, FC can be written as weight of water retained in a certain volume of soil divided by, here the weight of same volume of dry soil will be equal to 1, that is the area, multiplied by d, depth of root zone, which will be the volume, multiplied by gamma, which is the dry unit weight of the soil. Therefore, the weight of water retained in the unit area will be equal to FC into gamma into d. Then depth of water stored in this particular unit area will be FC gamma into d divided by gamma w. Therefore, the depth of water stored in the root zone capital D is equal to gamma into d into bracket f minus m suffix 0 upon gamma w in meters. With this equation, you can find out the depth of water stored in the root zone. Then optimum moisture content. Soil moisture is consumed by plants through their roots. It therefore becomes necessary that sufficient moisture remains available in the soil from the surface to the root zone depth. Soil moisture is not allowed to be depleted up to the wilting point. Otherwise, what will happen? The plants will be wilted. The optimum level up to which the soil moisture is allowed to be depleted in the root zone without fall in the crop yield is called optimum moisture content. Now, one more term, that is frequency of irrigation, comes into picture. How frequently irrigation is required. This is a term of understanding with respect to the total field capacity, that is the maximum water availability, and the optimum moisture content. Just look at the figure. Here it is time expressed on x-axis, moisture content of the soil, it is expressed on the y-axis. The dotted line represents the optimum moisture content. This particular, it is the maximum holding capacity of the soil, that is field capacity. This is the wilting point up to which we have to ensure that the water should not drop down below this then this particular arrow represents availability of the moisture, and this is the readily available moisture, and this particular up and down arrows represents the frequency of irrigation. As and when the irrigation it is given to the crop, the water will be utilized by the plants and the water level will be depleted. Again, we have to ensure the sufficient moisture content, and further irrigation needs to be done. Further it will be depleted, further the irrigation needs to be done, further it will be depleted, further you need to maintain the sufficient moisture. So soil moisture in the root zone varies between field capacity as upper limit and wilting point as the lower point. The soil moisture is not allowed to deplete up to the wilting point. For a satisfactory growth, the moisture content should be between the field capacity and optimum moisture content. So you have to ensure for satisfactory growth of the plant, the moisture content should be between the field capacity and the optimum moisture content. So this zone it is important, which is readily available for available moisture content. This is the readily available moisture content to the plants. Thus, irrigation is aimed at supplying the amount of water such that water content is equal to the field capacity. After irrigation, the moisture content starts falling as water is consumed by plants through their roots. Next, irrigation is required to raise moisture content again to the field capacity of the soil. This is called as the frequency of irrigation. I hope you have understood the concepts. I request all of you to go through these standard references. If you are having any doubt, you can contact me on my email address as dnpaitankar@sanjeevani.org.in. Thanks for listening. Happy learning.